Zero waste. Where does all the waste go that accumulates over a year? Is less waste the new green living? It's actually going back to our ancestral ways. They had a more humble and um, not only substantial living, they made use out of everything. So zero waste. No wonder that it's a very resourceful method for life, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's progressive like technology would be in its industry. It's collecting things like old shampoo bottles when they're empty. You just throw them out of sight, out of mind. And then others establish their own small businesses by running, by reselling old materials, maybe metals, fabrics. But there are all these toxins in the plastics and other products that get thrown out that are highly toxic to us humans. Yeah, so our natural environment gets destroyed, and climate change affects the ecosystem. How can one start at home? Well, maybe by stopping the consumption and of products that create more waste than life. And that should be clear that there are theories, alternative economics that can help. In a privileged society, those changes when the right resources are known So what is the solution to these problems? It's always a back and forth. How does one nip the rose in the bud? What's going back? What's going on behind the scenes? Zero waste. Takes an effort at first till becomes an habit. It's a complex problem. Like, how does one go about world peace? One person's effort and sacrifice. There are some historical figures, anti-war. So every voice counts. Organic foods, fair trade, awareness, all these ecological concepts generate the demand to establish new ways in the system, the conventional players under pressure, of course, but whose rules of the game does the economic system obey? Collecting glass jars has a functionality in your home environment. So there's a difference to be made between consumer and yeah, and buyer, consumer and buyer. So zero waste is a lifestyle. But there are endless things that the individual undertakes as a goal for a more positive change for the whole well-being, mankind, and life. One of the following suggestions can be helpful. Training your eye on quality instead of quantity. Then reusables instead of disposables. Mm, and less possessions also mean less uh, cost. So simplifying your life. So now that the holidays are approaching, it's easy to maybe craft something out of old textiles. Um, what could help is maybe um, a pair of jeans that you're not wearing anymore. Just cut it up, and with a few stitches, it can be turned into something reusable, a nice gift for a friend or family member. My idea of cutting up the pair of jeans I have that in the shape of a pot holder and with a few stitches around the edges and maybe a cool, a meaningful print can turn into a fashionable homemade present, which is also sustainable. Hmm. I also, over my break, had practice in home baking sourdough bread. Although it's so simple, for me it was a more difficult task. Maybe it was a blockage, but the more practice I got, the better the loaf of bread turned out to be. And yeah, so the holidays are approaching and zero waste. I'll keep that in mind.